I don't know about you, man, but if she's talking, I'm listening. Welcome, everybody. FYC Film Review. I'm your host, Gagne. This is episode 14. Thanks for joining us once again. Always joined every week by my partner in crime, Ronaldo.
What's up, guys? What's up, buddy? How's it going?
It's good. It's good. Happy belated
Is it?
birthday. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, sir. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah, it was
Sorry we can't
yesterday. So
do something in person, but hopefully you had a very enjoyable 35th birthday,
Bir-
29th birthday.
35? I think I'm 35.
Cool.
I might be 37. I forget. Yeah, no, stayed home, can't do much. COVID. Had a COVID birthday, and then I got to watch this fabulous movie. So that's what I did for my birthday.
What is this fabulous? I'm sure no one's figured it out. I mean, you got it
Oh
listed.
my gosh!
We're
All
bearing
right.
the lead. We gotta do pictures without names.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we chose Police Academy 3. And the reason we chose Police Academy 3 is because we've been teasing Police Academy since episode 3, which was Spaceballs,
Ah,
right? So we've kind of sprinkled Police Academy throughout our episodes, I think.
yeah.
And then just recently, Marion Ramsey passed away, who plays Sergeant Hooks in it. And she's the kind of quiet lady who's very shy. And then she just raises her voice, and she's a character. So this episode, we're going to dedicate this episode to Marion Ramsey, also known as Sergeant Hooks.
To Marion Ramsey.
Here is my prison mic.
Very nice.
Mug.
Okay. Yeah.
So to you,
Cheers.
Marion Ramsey, rest in peace.
You were fantastic, and you're a big reason why we had to pick this and rewatch it, because I remember loving her character. Didn't really know her from anything other than Police Academy, but we also did Scrooged, and Scrooged had Bobcat, and that
Yes.
brought up. So for some reason, have married ourselves to this idea that we decided to run with all of a sudden. I'm starting to think that I lived a different life in the 80s. Like, I mean, obviously I was a kid, and so things were very different, but it's amazing the disparity between 80s and 90s movies, and how dated 80s movies feel, and just how different the times were. And I have a few notes to that, but let's dive in, man. 1986.
Yeah.
Do you remember seeing these as a kid?
I do. I remember seeing a lot of them as a kid, and just like Spaceballs, I probably shouldn't have been watching these type of movies. But this one came out in 1986. The first one came out in 1984, I believe. The first one was rated R. I think the second one was rated PG-13, and this one is rated PG, surprisingly. So, but it was funny when I put it on. It said rated PG, and it said PG for violence, sexual content, drug use, and foul language, which is crazy because that's unheard of now for PG.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm watching PG, it's some kind of Disney movie. But yeah, that was it. The good thing about this movie, though, it is only 84 minutes. So, just under an hour and a half.
Yeah, and it's a solid, hour and a half, less than an hour and a half. It's not like it's drawn out. It's not like it tries to be anything, very filled with plot. It's just, It's another vehicle for these characters that I think people grew to love from the first two films. And then let's just keep this cash cow going. Look, for all the crap we're going to give this movie, these movies made money. Money. The first one made over $80 million in the 80s. That's huge.
Yeah.
So I get why they made 6 sequels. There were 7 of these movies, and
7
show. So that's mind blowing.
And I'm going to interject a cartoon, which I remember watching the cartoon.
Really?
Yeah, there was a cartoon, and I liked it. It was on for 2 seasons, so there was a cartoon of this too. So, like
I feel like that was fun fact number 1. So
what? Really? Because I don't really have any fun facts.
I mean, I got one. So I have one that's not exactly great. It was just I was digging into all the cast, but the one.
All right, let's do that. All right. Fun fact number 1: there was a cartoon series of Police Academy.
Beautiful. I love it.
Sure.
I actually didn't remember, but it's another one of those things that, and we've picked some of those films from the 80s, like Nightmare on Elm Street, where it's just like these iconic characters. Steve Guttenberg, how did he have a career? Like, he was Mahoney, and he just played this character over and over for a while. I don't think he was in every single sequel, but a lot of these guys were in every sequel.
Yeah,
Michael Winslow was in every sequel.
Michael Winslow, for those people who don't know Michael Winslow, is the guy who does all the sound effects. I think Chris said he was a national treasure in the Spaceballs episode.
Did.
So he's a funny guy. He that's how he had this niche, and he just makes sound effects. But let's be real here. This movie is not going to appeal to anybody unless you're kind of in the 80s world.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think if you saw this movie right now, you're not going to like it. I'm just being real with you. There's a lot of characters. I don't know if they're iconic characters. They're really slapstick characters that if you were born in the 80s or you watch this a lot, you would get. But watching this for the first time, I wouldn't blame you if you turned it off. So I will give you this. The theme song for this movie series is fantastic. The score, it's like a blend between Star Wars and the 80s Superman. That's what I think. I think it's a great score. It is a great score.
I wouldn't call it John Williams-esque, but it's
good.
It's memorable. So you hear that theme and you remember that theme. Like you hum it in your head and it sounds familiar to you. And so it's not bad. It's not, it wasn't over synthesized like a lot of 80s scores were, but I could hear, I could see that. I feel that it was memorable and it's not a bad part of the movie. There's not really, it's the thing is this, it's just a slapstick movie. It's not, it's a man punching a lady because she's got a fly on her cheek. It's, cat just yelling. Like that was almost the picture I chose. I wanted to, but I stuck with this. It's just a lot of absurdities, and you're right. Not great characters, but just memorable in the sense that like you saw them over and over and over for years. I mean, year after year, they just kept putting one of these out. So,
and going back to Steve Guttenberg was just this mega icon in the 80s. Huge icon, I thought. But in these movies, I mean, let's be real. He's a sleazeball in these movies.
Yeah.
He's a sleazeball.
Yeah.
And you watching this and you just kind of cringe at times. And he's a cop. He's a cop to boot. So it's just weird watching it. I will say this, but we love Bobcat Goldthwait here at FYC. So he was actually in the second one. He was a gang member in the second one. And then he's reformed now. So he wants to be, he's a new recruit. And that's what this movie is about. Here's the plot, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very simple plot. There's two academies and they're saying that one academy has to go. So the original characters are back to help train these new cadets, and they're going head to head against these other cadets. And that's it. That's all it really is. That's it. And they get into these weird hijinks, and that's it. That's all. That's the plot.
And you see like a week of the police academy actually happening, and then you're at the finale. All of a sudden, you hit the pause button, and you're like, "Oh, there's 20 minutes left in this movie. I guess it's time to wrap it up." That's the thing with these movies; there never really was a bad guy. Like they're police, but they were fighting like low level criminals. They weren't stopping anything major until like the very end of the movie, and then it's like the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the movie is all about like, oh, there's these bad guys, and they have to stop something from happening. But the bad guys there's no relevance to them. They're just bad guys for being bad guys. Right. So it's funny you said that, because I just said, oh, plot's simple enough. Like, here you go. Two rival police academies, and one's going to shut down. And I think that was like the Super Troopers, premise too. Like, I guess that's what you stick with when it comes to cop films.
I'm going to ask you a question. Who's your favorite character? Who's your favorite character in this?
In this one?
Yeah.
100% Zed. Bobcat Goldthwait makes me giggle. I don't know what it is. Why a man just yelling and making weird sounds makes me giggle. It still makes me giggle. His interaction with the nerdy guy who's really small,
Sweet Chuck.
Yeah,
Sweet Chuck. I like Sweet Chuck. Sweet Chuck's the best.
Yeah, he's great. And that's the thing, is like they're so good playing off each other that entertains me enough in this movie that I don't need much more. Steve Guttenberg is supposed to be your everyday guy, but he's cringy, and that's just I love Bobcat, and I'm so glad that they brought him back. And it's cool that they remember to like continue some storylines and just bring other characters back from previous movies, whether the actual like police academy officers or just these side characters where they start bringing them into the police academy. It worked.
Yeah.
It works. I love Bobcat. What about you? What's your favorite?
So in this, it was Bobcat. I like the interaction between Bobcat and Sweet Chuck. I think like the main characters that from 1 and 2, I feel like they didn't get enough in it. It was almost, I understand they were brought back to help these new cadets, but like even with Officer Hooks, there just wasn't a whole lot with them. And maybe because it's the third one and you're supposed to already know what they're about, but I don't know. I mean, I even Tackleberry was very like toned down. In the other ones, he's ballistic. He goes crazy.
Yeah.
You know, so there's just it is what it is. It's Police Academy thing.
Yeah, it's a Police Academy movie. I have to go back and watch the first and second one to really see if they toned this one down with it being PG. They must have found that they had a younger audience and that this was hitting a note with, and so they're like, well, let's make this one a little bit more broader of an audience and make it PG so that parents want to take their kids now. And yeah, you don't get much out of most of the main characters, if you will. I did fun fact number 2 before we skip over Zed.
Okay.
The offer for that role was initially to Bill Paxton, who
of Mahoney.
Yeah, no, of Zed, of Bobcat Goldthwait's character.
Oh, of Zed. Okay,
yes.
Interesting.
But he didn't want to get locked into having to do multiple movies, and so he didn't do that. And sadly, he had to go on and do Aliens because of not doing this.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
He did Aliens. Good for Bill Paxton. Rest in peace, Bill. You know, Bill Paxton, here's to you, Bill Paxton. We miss you.
Yes.
And to you and all the movies, including Titanic. So we'll leave Titanic, our Titanic talk.
It wouldn't be an FYC episode if Ronaldo didn't sneak in one Titanic mention. So
no, it's funny because I don't think the movie is great. I like the movie, but I just hate the fact that you don't like it very much. I don't know why.
Yeah, giving our viewers a bad idea of what I think of that movie. So we'll save it for a time that we'll do it. We'll special episode. You know, if we make it to 50, you know, maybe.
We'll make it to 50. To 50. I don't know. Well, this will probably be our last Police Academy. We won't do another one.
You know, I think it's time. We probably should just go to the worst line, because I don't want to keep bagging on Mahoney without mentioning how I think he has the worst line in the movie.
Mahoney had the worst line for me too.
Okay.
It's not like Mahoney has a whole lot of lines. So let's think here. Let's see if we get the same line. This could be it. This could be the movie where we have the same line. I'll let you go. Go ahead.
So I only did one of the 2 sentences that he says, but the line of talking about her ears, if I blown it, will you follow me anywhere? Did we get it?
We got it. That's it. I don't know if you can see it. That's the same line.
It's so bad, right?
Yeah.
It is
really bad.
I should have put, I don't know if you put the whole thing down, because I only put the line.
I did.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so this is the scene. So it's Mahoney and his trainee, who is a woman who is like this, you know, pretty lady who he's trying to hit on the whole movie. And she says to him, "See this year? It's a finely tuned crap detector about her ear." And Mahoney goes, "Oh, and a lovely ear it is. If I blow in it, will you follow me anywhere?" Boom. That's it. I don't get it. I don't get it
on so many levels. That's what makes it such a bad, like, fine, you want to flirt with her and call it a lovely ear, but if you blow in it, like, does that work? If you blow in people's ears, do they follow you? I've never tried.
I feel like you could get like an infection in your ear if you blow too hard.
I feel like a breeze goes by my dog's ear and he freaks out. So I mean, I don't think
squirrel.
Yeah, it's bad. His whole like forcing himself on the women cadets, and it's just like, we get it. Yeah, he's the ladies' man. I don't know why.
I do like the running gag. This one running gag throughout all of the movies. I think it's in all of the movies, but I know it's in the first 3. Is the blue Oyster Club. I don't know why I like that scene. I really love that scene when they end up and it's a gay bar and you got all these, all these men dressed in like leather and stuff, and they're just so uncomfortable in it, and it's hilarious. It's so funny, and it's a great running gag they actually got through the whole movies. So every time someone says oyster or blue oyster, I think of da 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 da, and then they start dancing. It's funny, man. It's like the one. I don't know why. I love it.
And it is. And so that's one of the, that kind of, I'll tag team off of that idea. I like that guy's character, Proctor. I miss Lieutenant Harris, the guy who was the bad guy in the last two films. The bad guy, if you will, the rival cop who doesn't like them and their antics. And he's only gone for this one, and I think he actually wasn't in the second one, maybe too. But
he's in the first one, and then he's back in the fourth one. You're absolutely right.
Right. There was a lot of uncomfortable racism at the beginning of it too, where I was like, oh, like they've got cadet the foreign cadet, and he's like, I'm not teaching him how to use a walk or something like that, and I was like, wow, like it just. And I get it. Maybe they were trying to portray the guy as a really bad racist, but it was uncomfortable. Like that scene, I was just like, okay, all right.
And he wouldn't stop. He just kept going. He kept going and going. And I mean, it's the 80s. I feel like the 80s, people just got away with so much, and people just let it slide. And
they shouldn't
have.
The
80s, man. they shouldn't have. We were kids, so we shouldn't have been watching this. I blame my parents for letting me. Well, actually, they didn't even know I was probably watching these movies.
It's almost like we've opened a time capsule, and I don't want to open it anymore. Like I'm afraid to open any more 80s time capsules. Like what's going to happen next? Like I don't know if I can handle it.
I agree. I'm in that same boat as you, and a part of me doesn't want to go back and rewatch these movies because you have these, I don't know, maybe fond memories of you kind of laughing and enjoying it quite a bit. And now that you rewatch it, like you said, it's like, whoa, what were we watching? Or, it doesn't, I don't know. It just doesn't, I don't like it. I kind of want to keep those fun memories alive. And when you watch them as an adult, you have a different perception of everything. And it's kind of like, well, all right.
I'm flabbergasted, man. I just don't know. I don't know how they made 7 of these movies. I have another fun fact. So Bubba Smith, who plays Hightower, was a football star for quite a while. Yes. He made more in this movie, off of this movie, than in his 9 years of playing in the NFL. I don't know if that says more about like how low they were paid in the NFL back then, or how well Police Academy did, but he had a smart agent. He took money off the back end and made more money in this one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bubba Smith. Okay. Fun fact. That was a good fun fact. He played for the Raiders.
He did play for the Raiders.
I'm sure. Yeah. That's it. Okay. So where do we go from here? I mean, the finale, the jet ski, the amazing jet ski scene and the boat scene.
The boat scene was ridiculous. Like all of a sudden they just have wetsuits, and the wetsuits all have badges, and it's just like every character running around doing something stupid.
I do want to call out. Sorry, we'll call out one scene really quick. Was the scene when they were at this like dinner where they're having like a party, and they get on stage, and the whole cadets start playing instruments. Tackleberry somehow can play the saxophone, whatever he's playing.
Yeah.
And then Michael Winslow is playing the bass, but I don't know if you caught this. He's got the bass turned around, so there's no strings on the bass either. So he's just flicking his fingers, and I'm thinking, is he doing that because he's making the sounds with his mouth for the bass? Or it was so stupid. And then they're all singing and I'm done with this movie. I've had it. I can't even talk about this. This is just a stupid movie. I think we should just rate. I'm over this.
There's nothing good to talk about. I know.
Nope.
We're gonna go straight to ratings. Like we're just
Okay.
why not? Because look, no one's gonna watch this movie,
No.
and you don't want to hear us sit here and talk about a movie from 1986 that is not good at all.
Yeah, I don't even want to hear myself talking about this movie anymore.
Next time you want to, pay tribute to somebody, let's not pick.
But that's all she was
Probably.
in. That's all
I
she was
know.
in. So we had to pay tribute to her.
True.
Unfortunately, the movie's not good. It's just the movie. We're not basing it on who the
No, definitely not.
yeah.
No.
So I don't think we've talked about what our rating is going to be.
We
But I was
haven't.
thinking about this, and I thought, how many sweet chucks,
Megaphones
blue
or
oysters?
I don't know. Does it matter? Like it doesn't matter. Sure, let's go with Sweet Chucks.
All right, sweet chucks it is.
Sweet Chucks it is.
All right, I you know what? I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 1 because good job people making movies and good job making it to a third one. But man, this is by far the worst one we've had to watch. And we won't be watching any more of those kind of movies. I don't know that I'll ever pick a Steve Gutenberg movie again.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
He just never did it for me as an actor, even in the 80s. Like, just not my guy.
Okay.
Bobcat,
Right.
you're a guy, man.
You are.
Welcome to the Mount Rushmore of FYC.
Yeah, you are welcome. Come on down. Okay, so you gave it a 1. One sweet chuck.
1 sweet chuck. Not very sweet at all.
I went with 1.5 sweet chuck because of the score, and because of the score is so good and so memorable, and because of Zed, Bobcat Goldthwait, he steals the scene, I think, and because this whole series developed a bunch of different characters who people will remember from the 80s. So props to that. The movie itself is bad. It's really bad. I can't recommend it on any level. So this is our first movie where we actually give it lower than a 2. So
wow.
Collectively. You gave it a 1. I'm with the 1.5 sweet chuck. That's it. That's all we got.
Yeah.
Sorry,
guys.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I feel like people are gonna hate us a little bit, but it's like you gotta go see watch the movie again. We both have fond memories of things like this, but when you rewatch it as an adult, you get a different perspective. And I just want people to know that. It's like, oh, you gave this movie a bad rating. Go watch the movie and let me know. So
yeah. And I get the feeling that what we're doing is like ripping the veil off of a magic trick, or maybe I'm confusing my metaphors here, but there's some things that should be better left untouched. Sadly for Police Academy 3, they should have never come back in action. See what I did there?
Yeah, I got it. It's good stuff. I'm glad you're back to your puns.
Thank you.
Well, welcome back. Yeah, we've missed your puns.
It takes the bad ones to really bring out the best puns.
Absolutely. Oh
well, we're gonna wrap it up. It's gonna be the shortest episode yet. So tell us which one was your favorite. I'm sure there's ones that are better than this, or maybe ones that are a lot worse than this. But yeah, let us know. Appreciate you guys tuning in.
Yeah.
I've been your host, Gagne, for FYC Film Review.
Ronaldo. See you guys later. Take care. Sorry about this movie. I don't know what else to say. I'll see you later, guys.
Have a good one.